the season.
Yeah, I know. That's all right. Let's have this conversation in a month's time, and we'll see where we're at.
Yeah. My best mate's a Liverpool supporter too. He says the same thing at the start of the season all the time.
Yeah, that's true.
So you know who Steve Highway is, right?
Steve Highway, yeah.
My friend named his
I don't think
band.
he is anymore.
Yeah, he was from the 70s. My friend named his band after him.
Really?
There's another guy named Toshak.
Yeah,
Forgot
John
his first-
Toshak.
Yeah, John. He named it Toshak Highway.
Well, do you know what? When John Toshak took over as the manager of the Turkish club Besiktas, Toshak in Turkish means testicle, or the slang for testicle means bollock. So it means bollocks. So his name is John Bollocks. True story.
That's funny.
Nice. He loved Liverpool, man. He loved Liverpool.
Mate, you know how long I've been trying to get on this show for?
Check,
It's probably
check,
been about a month.
Really?
Like, yeah. It's, well, but every Saturday night for a month.
Well, what's happened? Why couldn't you get in?
I don't know. It's like because I'm on my mobile phone. It always says you've got to wait for someone to drop off, or it's always some excuse. And,
Yeah, it's a conspiracy.
Yeah, that's how it was for me at first. I had to figure out how to get in here and log in and all that because Google Hangouts was brand new to me too when I started trying to come in here.
So do you come in on your phone, Chocolate?
Yeah.
How do you get it to work? Because I can't get it to work on my phone.
Oh, what a day! What a lovely day!
Welcome to Flat Earth Debate. I'm your host, Nathan Oakley, and if you're new to this channel, or you've not done so already, be sure to subscribe and hit the bell notification icon to keep up to date with the Flat Earth Debate. If you would like to support this channel, there is a super chat that runs alongside each of these shows while they're live, and there's also a PayPal link in the info box below this video once it's rendered. But most importantly, if you would like to join the discussion, simply mute the page you are currently watching. Then click the link in the info box below this video to join the discussion and express your views on the shape of the Earth. If you do join, please don't swear. If you do, you'll be ejected, and if you are, please don't try to rejoin the stream using sock accounts. You'll be warmly welcomed back on the next stream. Please also share the show. Sharing the show obviously increases the live audience, but this in turn increases the chances of a more diverse panel. So please share the show. And one last time, if you are new to this channel or you've not done so already, be sure to subscribe and hit the bell notification icon to keep up to date with the Flat Earth Debate. Now we are joined by Was Not Was, The Plain Truth, Sleeping Warrior, Anti-Flat Earth, Haunted House, Globe, and Chocolate Sane. Good to have you all.
Uh-oh. Something happened.
something went haywire there.
Yeah, I don't
Yeah.
know what went wrong.
It's Travis acting daft with his microphone. It's loud as hell.
I wanted to say hello, what?
I know, but when you got the microphone open...
Hello.
Anyway, we didn't even get through housekeeping, Nate.
Well, we got through curvature and axial rotation just by natural progression, so I'm happy to cover them all again. So, any signs of curvature, gentlemen?
No.
No. Last time I checked.
No, I haven't seen my missus lately.
It's got to be specifically Earth-based. Anyway, axial rotation, same principle applies.
No evidence of that. Ring laser gyros, fog gyros do not show any axial rotation whatsoever.
Right, proof
So how
of
do we
gravity.
argue the, Oh, sorry.
Any proof of gravity?
No. No proof of gravity.
That's ridiculous. Gravity, come on.
Yeah, it's ridiculous.
Exactly.
I agree.
It's no threat to the flat Earth.
Right, proof of a pressurized system coexisting next to a vacuum or lower or higher pressure system. I'll say that again. Proof of a pressurized gas next to a vacuum. There we go.
No. It would all get sucked off, Nathan. I was
I'm
hoping
not.
that
I'm
one
not
show
even going
was
to
a
comment.
vacuum next to a pressurized system without a membrane between the two, but he got kicked.
Hello.
Hello.
Yep.
Yeah, am I still here?
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay.
Hey, so I got a problem with the laser measurements. Like I have a distance gauge, distance measure, range finder, whatever you want to call it. It's a pretty good one. It only goes up to, I think, 100 feet. So as soon as I hit this button, I get a calculation. That was like 3 seconds. So 54 inches to the ceiling. What exactly here is happening? I know they say that something is bouncing off or whatever. I know it's not returning to the sensor, to the photo sensor. There's 2 sensors right in there. Kind of a good idea. Okay. So the laser is coming out of, okay,
Ow!
sensor. Watch out, close your eyes. Okay, so this one right here, I'll just like shot it right in my eye. So I don't really understand like what exactly is happening. I know lasers aren't really real light anyway. It's not coherent light. But I think maybe there's a disturbance in the field of the laser.
I've got the same problem with this revolver. Can you have a look at it for me?
Seems like you got to clean the barrel.
I've just accidentally shot myself in the face.
In the face. I don't know what's happening with it either. I don't understand it.
Rip it
It
to
works,
pieces.
though.
Rip it to pieces. That's my advice. If
does
you want to know how
work.
it works.
It does work, and construction workers hate them. We don't need that shit. Take real measurements. I have a collection of tape measure. But on another note, I got into so much trouble the other day for giving my opinion on what flat Earth really is. Like, and I said flat Earth is a vacation. Like, once you're flat earthing, you're assuming you're now on the good side. You're one of the good guys. So you take a vacation from your own issues, your own problems, your own work, fixing yourself and making yourself like self-improvement, that sort of thing.
Do you mean escapology?
Yes, it's an escape. Flat Earth is somewhat of an escape for a lot of people because once you're flat earthing, now you're the good guy. You don't have to deal with anything. You can do no wrong. So it makes it easier to push aside things you would otherwise need to deal with.
So who did you get in trouble from for that?
Well, some people didn't like that the way I was describing it, and that's fine with me. It's fine if it's like a social gathering. But in the end, I think it's really important to remain neutral. I think we've all gotten so emotionally invested in the Earth being flat that it's hard to take a neutral stance on a lot of things, where that's the most important place to be. That's where, androids, robots, AI comes in handy. AI doesn't really care what, either or. But when taking measurements, we're always going to have such a strong confirmation bias for it to be flat.
I don't know. Don't know if I agree with you there. We see things in the distance and we just see them and that's it. For us, there's no need to explain any further. We just see it. It's there. And that's the end of it. It's a concrete noun. We see a building. Full stop. For a globe head, that's where they have to start turning seeing something, concrete noun, into an observed phenomena. Oh wow, it shouldn't really be there, but it is there because it's a slightly looming non-standard refraction hyena hologram. It's been loomed up from beyond the curve. All that kind of nonsense. They've got to tell themselves. So it's not about measuring. We can literally just open our eyes and have a look and go, there's a building. Shouldn't be there if you think you're on a sphere, but I can just look at it and go, nice building, and have no concerns whatsoever.
Well, you've got to see it for yourself, haven't you? I've my brother and I, down here at the southeast coast of Australia, we've bought a P900, and we're seeing it for ourselves. We're going to a spot where we're looking across 70 kilometres of water, and we're seeing land over the other side that we should not be able to see, given the calculations of the sphericity of the Earth and how and the size of the Earth. So we're seeing land. So people are doing this. People are doing this around the world and proving it for themselves. So that's what you've got to do. That's all you've got to do. Yeah, and I don't know that's proof for myself. I got brought up, and we all got brought up with the mainstream view of the fact that we're on this spinning ball and it's a globe. But if you don't go out there and validate this for yourself, well, it's secondhand information. You understand what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I would phrase it obviously and observably flat. In other words,
Yeah.
you say we see a building that perhaps Jose, that we shouldn't see.
Yeah.
But I just say we see a building. It's obvious and observable. There's no explanation required. There it is. We see it.
Absolutely. Yep.
Look at Jose's avatar.
And the P1000 is coming out soon, and I'll be grabbing myself one of those as well, and that will just make it even easier for us to prove that the world is flat.
They named it after the price.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
It's ridiculous. It like combines telescope and camera into one. And I don't think the lens is any bigger on this P1000.
Yeah, it is.
Although I've seen some footage from leaked shots of people that own one. Either the footage isn't right, it's not the P1000, but it looks exactly the same.
It does look the same, but it's a 67mm lens on the P900. But it is bigger on the P1000. I don't know what the size of it is, but I've seen them side by side, and it is bigger.
In diameter or length?
Yeah, in diameter, in aperture.
But it's 4K video. 4K video. So, are we going to see things, 4 times or 3 times as clearer?
Yes. So you can scale it down by a factor of 4 and still end up with the same resolution you got out of the P900. In other words, if the shots of, say, Machold Lighthouse were taken on a P1000 instead of a P900, you could literally zoom in by a factor of 4 and end up with the same resolution as you had on the P900 without doing anything.
Crop it.
So yeah, you can crop it down and still end up with the same quality as you got out the P900 after cropping.
Wow. There's this observation here on the east coast of Australia that I'm really focusing in on. At the moment, we're looking across 70 kilometres with a P900. Now it's looking from down Wollongong Way across to Sydney, and we're catching the aeroplanes that do their loop around the ocean and make their way into land into Botany Bay, where the airport is there in Sydney. But with the P900, we can't make out the aeroplanes doing that loop. But with the P1000, I think from 70 kilometres, we'll be able to make that loop. We'll be able to see them make that loop, which means from 70 kilometres, we'll be able to see a plane do a loop and go down and land, not land per se, like on the actual tarmac, but watch them descend. So if the Globers are saying that we've got looming or whatever they're saying is happening there, then that plane cannot be tracked from the top of its descent down to the bottom, pretty much, without some sort of interference there in regards to the looming. So that's the thing that we're going to look to cover, and I think that's going to be a killer. Do you get me?
Yeah.
So if there's a plane that's circling down to land, you from because you've got it up at whatever feet it is, as it comes down. Then if the globers are saying that it's looming, because from where we're looking at 70 kilometers, that's supposed to be something like 200 to 300 meters, hidden. Then if that land is looming, then the plane should disappear, because what's looming up is doesn't include that plane. You know what I mean?
Yep.
Probably not. Probably not. But yeah.
When does your P1000 come? Have you pre-ordered it already?
Oh no, when it becomes available, I've got a P900, but I'm only a carpenter, so I'll do a few more hours. And
What do you do?
I'm a carpenter by trade.
Oh yeah, that's
Yeah.
cool. What are the tools different down there? Like, are all the colors like? What kind of tools do you use? Like Makita, Bosch.
Hey, we're not
Milwaukee.
we're not from another planet here, man. We're using the same tools you guys are using.
The hammer is a hammer.
Yeah, hammer, chisel, Makita, all of those tools. Yep.
Is Bosch green or blue?
We have iPhones here.
Yeah. Bosch is green down
Oh,
here.
it's green. Wow.
Yeah. Everything's green down here. Yeah.
Down under.
But yeah, but do you guys understand what I'm saying? Like, from a distance, we're watching a plane come down, like land. So if that's been loomed up, then you should lose that plane at some point, as it's coming down. Yeah, it's pretty hard to explain, but
I like how
yeah,
airplanes pop into view, from out of nowhere. It's a great display of how our sight works. Like when something goes out into the distance, it just disappears. Literally disappears. It's
yeah.
gone. And something comes into view the same way. From out of nowhere, something just appears.
Yep.
I don't know. I think it would be a cool experiment to do, like getting two guys, one in a boat or some kind of vessel out in the water, have him filming the guy on the shore, so we can see what it looks like from that point of view. These measurements, like 93 million. I mean, even 1,000. It's just not relevant after. I don't know. I would say 200 miles, maybe 300 miles. After that, measurements are just irrelevant. That you can't experience the measurement, or you can't experience that distance in terms of seeing something.
Oh, of course you can. It's 93 million miles. What the hell does a human being know about 93 million miles? Like, it's ridiculous.
Like, what would be like? I wonder how different it would look if next to something 92 million miles away.
Right.
Like that's what I'm talking. Or 30 million.
Yeah. Hang on, I'll get my tape measure out. We'll just measure it. Yeah, right.
There you go. And see, if something's not self-evident, it's got to be thrown out. Got to be thrown out. If it doesn't prove itself, stand on its own 2 feet, and not rely on secondary information, and it's concise, and it can be tested repeatedly by anybody. That's reality, right? And the other thing I figured out the other day is we shouldn't like the truth. You know, people like truth this, truth that. This my channel's Truth Warrior and all this shit. We shouldn't like the truth. If we like the truth, it's not the truth. You know, the truth sucks. Truth is reality smacking you in the face.
Yeah,
I
but the
don't know. I
truth
think
is
there's-
just truth.
Truth seeker.
Well, the truth is always the thing you don't really want, you know.
Why
Don't
not?
want the truth.
Why not?
Well, I guess the raw truth in a perfect world, if you're perfect, I guess. But, you know, we all have our flaws, and the truth points those things out.
All right, so be it.
You know, when you point it at
If
yourself.
you can handle that, then
Yeah,
don't
I
see
know.
anything wrong
Well,
with
it's not
that,
always
'cause
fun,
I
though.
don't like.
It's not always
I don't like
fun.
when people are full of shit. That's a
But
problem.
that's-
for me.
that's-
this
that's
is
an
my biggest
extreme.
problem with like
That's
these
an
Globers.
extreme, though. You know what I mean? Like it's
Well-
not that black and white.
And I
Like
get
And I don't
that,
like
but-
either. I don't like either when people say we want the truth or we don't want this or we don't want that. No, you don't want that and you don't want this. Talk for yourself, you know.
And then
No,
the
the
fact
truth-
that
truth
because
hurts.
I'm searching for the truth in my own way, I get, you know, we or us, we're trying to search for the truth in our way, and people make fun of us for that. Like, it's like, what the hell is wrong with you? You know, if you have your truth, go ahead, believe that. Don't call me idiot for trying to search for my truth. That makes no sense. Who the hell are you?
I mean, it comes
You know?
down to your approval. You know, your approval on the information. Like, how much do you approve of this information? You know, to when you get to the point where you say, "Well, I'll settle on this. This sounds just about right." That's when the truth is the truth.
So Nathan, how do you like my new microphone? I got it today.
Beautiful. Very nice. Smooth as silk.
Much better than yesterday. You know, a lot of people got really triggered about my robot slash voice changer microphone. So I got a new one, and this should do much better than before.
Oh yeah, much better, much
Much
better,
better.
mate.
So that will be $50, Michael Oakley.
You've already got one
$50.
person asking what kind of mic. That's how impressed they are in the chat.
It's a Marantz Professional Pot Pack 1.
Marantz.
Yeah.
Okay. I met the guy who owned,
Okay.
well, the chief designer. Kenny Shuata, his name was. Nice guy.
Awesome.
What kind
Yeah,
of
Marantz,
what is
cool
it?
stuff.
What is it? A Marantz? What's the lettering? The model number?
I'm not sure. It's a Pot Pack 1. I'm not sure.
I didn't understand that.
I didn't
Sorry.
either.
You got ripped off, mate. I've got an iPhone here and it sounds just as good.
No, I don't.
No, it doesn't. You.
No, not at all. It's-
You know, it's a great mic. The Shure SM7, I think it is.
Indeed.
I would
do you watch
say that-
Booth? I take it do you watch Booth Junkie? I'll take that as a no.
Oh, I think he told me about that.
Yeah, Booth Junkie. Oh, he's great. I love Booth Junkie.
Yeah, he's like a tech guy, right? He goes and
Just mics. He's a voiceover guy.
That's right.
And
That's
he
right.
literally
That's right.
just
I
mics.
checked him out
Well,
once.
he does preamps and things that go along with mics, but predominantly mics. Yeah, they got some.
Yeah, there's a-
Macadon in the chat says he rocks. Yeah, got a few Booth Junkie fans. Woohoo!
Macedon's my brother.
SM7B. That's what it is. That's a great mic. It's $340.
Yeah, it's like the next. If you have a blue and you want to improve, that's probably what you'd buy.
I think
I mean,
this mic is fine just for chat. Much better than previous microphone.
Definitely. So we didn't get.
Yeah,
I know
it's
you
got
said
a lot of presence to it. I can hear your mouth.
Yeah, it's no longer ear rape like yesterday.
So what's your position in terms of global flat then? Because last time you said you kind of gave an indifferent answer last time.
Well, I'm kind of in different. I've seen evidences for both sides. I would say, and I run a flat Earth Discord server, so I get lots of different people chatting to me about their view on it.
So what's your you said that you sort of swing both ways, but so what's your evidence for the globe?
I would say the Concorde flew high enough that you could see a very slight curvature of the Earth through its windows.
Excuse me. Did you go on the Concorde?
No,
So where are you? What are you basing this on?
on photos taken by passengers.
Photos.
Taken
Nathan,
by
do I need to go ahead?
Do you think
No.
that you were primed at all? Like you were expecting curvature? Like do you think that might be part of the reason why you feel like you're seeing curvature? Because you were told that there should be curvature?
He's
that
seen
is
photos taken by passengers.
that is possible, but you can always just take the image and view it objectively with a
Mhm.
edit program. Yeah, I was expecting curvature, but you could always put it through a program um, to look at it objectively.
Okay. So we can say that maybe, you know, through the window it appeared that way. The photo came out. Whatever the case. What else? What else? What's the other evidence that leads you to believe that we're on a globe?
Um, I think the facade pendulum, how it reacts to different positions on Earth. I don't think that can be explained on a flat, still plane, but can be explained on a rotating sphere, the facade pendulum. Its its motions change depending on the location.
The Foucault's pendulum. Have you
But
ever
before you tell them
done?
that they started up, because I have a feeling that's what you're going to tell them. Are you, aside from that, because I can sit here and tell you that they take that pendulum and it's still motionless, and then they move it. They give it one movement forward, or they push it forward, and then it just kind of swings because there's such a little amount of resistance. But that's nor here nor there. That's for you to figure out. But are you in search of information? Are you doubting things? Like, what brings you to the topic? Like, are you questioning science? Do you feel like we should question science? To me, that's more important than the shape of the Earth.
What I got. Well, to be fair, I'm not really into the flat Earth. I'm more into the fake space stuff. I'm not really ready to give that much time to the flat Earth yet.
Okay. So, all right, that's fair enough. That's fair enough. That's good, man. Then hold on to what you've already, what you think, what you deem to be true, but continue pushing forward with getting to the bottom of things. Because when I learned of this, it took a lot away from me. I was disappointed and let down. I was like, Christ, other area of the world, more BS. And I got books and books and books. We land on the moon, the history of NASA, you name it.
Yeah, but hang on. He mentioned the Foucault pendulum, but he's only referencing what he's read. Like, unless you've
So am I.
experienced it. Yeah, we all are, but unless you've experienced it and have tried to emulate that, then what sort of you really don't have any grounds to stand on.
Well,
We don't mention the forecourt pendulum.
That's
I
an
think
expensive setup to get that done right, to actually have it braced properly and weighted just right.
well, I think the benefit of the flat Earth community is there are lots of different people on different locations on Earth. So if every person on the flat Earth or most people that are interested have a small pendulum setup, or it could even be just one pendulum. Let's say all flat earthers put together some money to build a pendulum and we just ship this around different locations and set it up on different locations, and each person records the swing, for several hours, or depending on how big the pendulum is, it will swing for longer. So if every flat earther does a little bit, then we eventually get a record of how it reacts to different locations. So I do think this is an experiment we can do reasonably ourselves.
Yeah, with all due respect, I'm a builder, and I, on occasion, not often these days, because we have technology on our side with laser levels and whatnot. But
I'm a builder too.
I have, sorry.
He's a builder too.
I'm an
Oh, great.
electrician.
Okay, good. Oh,
Yeah,
good.
me
So
too.
you're an electrician. Okay, so on occasion I've used a plumb bob, and where you hang a weight off
Yep.
something to establish a point on the ground. I've never seen that plumb bob move. like I'll probably be waiting for a long time to see that plumb bob move. So I really don't know where you come from, to be honest.
The facade pendulum doesn't move on its own. You need to make the first, or you need to make the first initial swing yourself, and depending on how big it is, it will swing for how many hours, and it should slowly uh, change its how do you call it, direction of the swing. Or
So
actually,
what?
yes,
Sorry. Why would I need to move the plumb bob?
because it doesn't start. It doesn't start swinging out of itself. You need to make the first swing.
Right.
So
The problem is it loses
therefore,
energy on each
sorry.
swing. It'll lose a little
So,
bit of energy, so they insist on getting it a little bit of a kick.
Not.
That's why I don't really believe it.
It depends on how big it is. Some swings that are really big will swing for 24 hours without any extra help. I'm not sure on the exact numbers, but there are several big ones that show rotation without an extra push later on.
so why would it require any help? That's what I don't get. It. Why would it require any help?
Uh, it
Exactly.
it doesn't
It requires help because the Earth isn't moving.
Exactly. Thank you.
Exactly.
you need to make the first original initial swing. No, it doesn't
But
start.
why? That's the whole point. Is why?
Well, when you
Because
so
if the Earth is always moving, you shouldn't have. If what you're saying is true, and the Earth is always moving, the pendulum should never be still. If the pendulum is supposed to prove that the Earth is spinning, the Earth is always spinning, right? So it should
Exactly.
never be still. Why do we have to start it ourselves?
um
As
so
soon
let's
as it was built and put into place, it should have just started spinning or moving by itself.
no, it doesn't spin. It changes direction, I think, because the inertia of the swing is greater than the spin of the Earth, so it's kind of like a gyroscope. Gyroscope. It resists the change, and therefore it starts to change direction. But when you have a ball and you hang it on a string, and you hang this string on a well, actually, let's have a swing. You know, where kids swing around. When you just hang it on a pole, it just hangs there, right? It doesn't move, correct?
Mhm.
Of course
And
it does.
exactly. And then when you give a swing on it, and then when you give a swing on it, so you push it forward, then it starts to move back and forward. Yes.
But if you didn't give it that swing, it would stay stationary forever.
Yes.
So
So then,
I
how
don't,
does
I don't get
that?
your point. I don't get what you're
You
trying
you
to
don't
prove.
you don't see the correlation,
Yes, I
Apollo?
do. I do see it. You think it should uh move even when it's still?
Yes.
I think it should move without any human interference because if that's what's supposed to prove that the Earth is spinning, then that's what's moving it. If we're interfering with that in any way, then obviously it's not the Earth that's doing it.
But
Depending on how they build it and how, what the mechanism that they use and how smooth it is and all that. I mean, they could make it so that it can swing, for a long time. Great. But if it ever, but the whole problem is it has to be started. And
yes.
yeah, well, that's a problem because the Earth doesn't stop spinning and moving and then start again. It's always spinning.
Well, you can say that about every experiment ever, Every experiment needs something to start. Even a experiment with a laser needs someone to push a button to start laser. That's human interference.
Well,
So,
of course, and I understand that. But what I'm saying is you're regarding the pendulum swing as proof of spin of the Earth. That's where
I think
it kind of.
the other issue is the resistance, air resistance. The reason why it slows to a stop is because of air resistance. And they theoretically, if there were no air resistance, it would go on forever. But it's kind of a useless theory.
Yeah, but if the Earth is spinning and it's spinning it, right? There's still air resistance when it started spinning. It's not going to stop spinning.
It should actually start spinning out of control.
Exactly.
It should start
no,
speeding up,
There's no there's
or
like
come to an equilibrium.
there is a slight resistance. I guess there is a very minute resistance on the rope, where it connects to a ball bearing somewhere, or however you
Wait,
design it.
right? But the longer the wire,
Yes,
the more a swing it's going to have.
yes,
The more distance.
yes, the longer it's going to keep swinging. Eventually, it's going to stop due to mechanical resistance and slight air resistance, of course.
Apollo. Can I ask a question, kind of related to this? But
No,
do
no,
I like that. So do you believe that we should feel the Earth moving? Is that
no.
something you don't believe that we should feel the Earth moving at the speeds that we're told it's moving?
Well, the Concorde actually flew at a higher speed than the Earth was spinning, and you didn't feel it there either.
Well,
It,
I believe that because I don't believe the Earth is spinning, but um you don't believe
But
It
that
was.
we should feel that.
It was.
we
Yeah,
feel.
it works.
Hey, what's up?
but
We
the
yes.
the Concorde is a closed system, so to speak. Apparently, the Earth is an open system. You didn't feel the Concorde flying at that that speed because it was closed. And so, what's the reason why we can't feel ourselves flying at that speed?
Because we feel acceleration and the Earth isn't accelerating. It's a constant speed.
But
But the Earth is
we're
also
over.
spinning on its axis, right? While
Yes.
on an elliptical orbit.
Yes.
So just by that alone, there should be some type of speed change during the orbit. We should feel some type of change, and we don't feel anything at all ever.
Well, this
That's kind of a problem.
this very slight change in elliptical orbit takes weeks, so I think it's the difference is too small to feel by our senses. Our senses are very bad at feeling minute changes.
And you believe that.
Apollo, it's a right to concede, like, and admit that you didn't have it just just right. In fact, I'd have more respect for the guy who says, okay, all right, maybe I was wrong, but I don't expect you to concede when you're being put on the spot, but no one ever does.
No,
Well, I'm not in any way trying to put you on the spot. I'm asking you, basic questions just to see where you're at with this, because obviously you believe that the pendulum is some type of proof for the Earth spinning, and I think
Evidence.
I
He's
think
got to work out some kinks. You know what I mean?
right, definite, the evidence, yes, and I don't know. So that's why I wanted to gauge your how you feel about us not feeling any type of movement, even though we're moving in 4 different directions at any time. And with the speeds that we're told that we're moving at, it's kind of insane that we don't feel any of that.
I
And
do
then
see
the
your
other thing I wanted to ask you before, you said that you saw a picture taken from by a passenger from the Concorde, and it showed slight curvature. I wanted to ask you, have you ever seen um, videos? There are videos on YouTube of high altitude balloon footage, amateur high altitude balloon footage, with balloons up to about 120,000 feet. Have you ever seen anything like that on YouTube?
I
Have you looked into that at all?
I've seen pictures of it, but I haven't really, and I've seen some short videos on it, but I haven't watched a long video of it. No, no.
Right. Okay. Well, long or short, there are plenty of videos, amateur videos, not NASA, not any type of space agency, regular people like you and me,
That's great.
who put cameras on balloons and send them up into the atmosphere. And some of them reach upwards to about 120,000 feet. And I don't know if you say you never seen them, but they don't show any curvature whatsoever.
Yeah, I've seen those. Very interesting, indeed.
Interesting, right?
On something to take into consideration, of course.
Definitely.
Definitely.
You know what's interesting? I think if I was to go to space, I'd take a balloon.
Wouldn't it pop?
That's probably the best way to go.
Well,
It's like
it's a good question. I think if it was built in a way where you could have some kind of relief, like have some kind of release valve, and when it started to get larger, you could release some of the helium.
right.
So sorry, I just I just caught on to when it starts to get larger, you want to release.
What?
Yeah.
What if you have a balloon and you put a human on it that has another balloon? And when it's at, 100,000 feet or something, before the balloon pops, this human puts up this other helium balloon and it gets to So 200,000 feet or something.
Right. Yeah. I mean,
Yeah.
it was done back in, it was called Operation Man High. And if you go to my YouTube channel, I downloaded a documentary and I mirrored it. It's on there. It's a pretty good documentary. It shows the years prior to the formation of NASA, back when the Air Force was doing real tests. And they were just trying to see the effect of high altitude. How it would affect a person, a human being. And the guy who had the record was about, I think it was 113,000 feet, 118,000 feet. And at one point he lost radio contact with the guys on the ground. And at that point, because they were monitoring his vitals, so he just kind of was like, all right, I'm starting to get a little lightheaded and I got no more communication. So he just kind of jumped out. It made the cover of Life magazine back then in like 1956. And when you see the camera footage, Joseph Kittinger.
Joseph Kittinger?
Yeah.
Okay. I hadn't heard that one.
We can share it and I won't strike anybody. But it's my most viewed video. Here we go. The footage is great at the end. It's like vintage flatness.
Do you own it? What is it exactly? Is it yours?
It's a video that I have on my channel.
Is it yours though?
Well, it's mirrored.
Say again?
It's mirrored.
Whose is it? Do you know?
Where did I get it from? I think I got it from someone else who mirrored it.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, don't take a chance.
I just don't want to play it if it's not yours. Sorry.
Well, it doesn't that only count if you use sound?
Well, you never know when YouTube starts to implement some way to also review video. I think they already have actually, so I'm pretty
Because
sure.
I don't get struck
Still
if I
images
use,
might be alright. Still images might be alright.
because if just video, usually you get away with it.
Usually, but YouTube is being crazy nowadays, so
Yeah.
people are getting banned, things are happening, so who knows?
All right, well, I'll tell you what, I won't play it. Is it all right if I just show freeze frame?
Yeah, that'll be all right. If you show individual frames, it's like we're critiquing it or giving commentary on it, so that's fine.
I'll scrub through it.
You're not sharing at the moment, just so you know.
Oof. So Nathan, how did you get into this flat Earth debate stuff?
I just watched a video by Math Powerland.
Googled it.
No, it's auto-played video. Math Powerland was just playing. I was half paying attention, half not paying attention. And then he mentioned flat Earth, and I was like, "Holy shit!" And then I went and woke my wife up, and I was like, "The Earth's flat." And she was like, "Oh, leave me alone."
That's it.
But Leia, I opened the curtains. I was like, "It's flat, it's flat." And she was not that interested. less interested than I thought. My first bit of, what's the word, being naive, thinking my wife would be dead interested. And she's like, "Oh, go back to sleep." It's probably 3 or 4 in the morning. But yeah,
that's awesome.
Do you think?
I'm sorry, guys. I came in late. Actually, I think this is the second show. I missed the whole shenanigans with the housekeeping. Do we figure out the distance to the sun? Do we have an R? Is there any scientific proof of all that good stuff? In a quick answer.
In a summary, no.
No.
Oh, damn.
Sorry.
You didn't miss much, Jose. Don't worry. No Glober came on here and
That's
revealed his master proof for us. That didn't happen today. Maybe tomorrow.
Maybe we'll get some proof of curve tomorrow for you.
Yeah.
From crashed.
I want to go back and believe in the globe Earth.
Yeah, right? Nah.
Yeah, not really.
All right, here we go. Ready? Go. Okay.
0 for you.
You guys see the little? You guys see the screen?
Yeah,
Nicely.
you're on.
Yeah, I see it.
Yeah.
See Laurel from Laurel and Hardy.
You know, I can never figure out why sometimes it gives you the little mini screen when you're scrubbing left and right. So that's the balloon, and it was like 3 tons or something like that.
3
it weighed
tons?
before it was blown up.
What's it made of?
That's the dude
3
who
tons.
broke the record. More NASA control. Actually, no, it wasn't NASA. This is the Air Force.
What year did you say this was?
56.
56. So this was before NASA was even formulated. What was NASA formed in 58?
Yeah, NASA came in 58 and wiped out the program, pretty much. So that thing is pretty big. You know, it looks to me like it's a ball with a huge cloth draped over it.
Yeah, that's what it looks like.
Giant floating sperm.
Exactly, Nathan. My thought exactly.
There's a little flatness for you. Vintage flatness.
Man high.
USOF, United States Air Force. Damn, I'm smart. Flight controls, good stuff.
Bam.
Look at that.
There's your globe.
That's the worst resolution image I've ever seen.
This is on your channel and it's called Attention Flat Earth Researchers Operation Man High Documentary.
Yeah.
Cool. Check it out. Mirrored on Haunted House's channel.
Cool.
So there's one last shot where like they were really gearing up to like break this record or just figure out. You know, it was before NASA came in. It was like true science. There was like excitement in the air. These guys were really gung ho for they were daredevils too. They didn't really care. They were willing to like die for answers or for the sake of science. Like, I mean, they're nuts going in. It was like a telephone booth, you know, with tubes and crap sticking out of it. Now the guy's pretty high up. I think it's right. Yeah. That's like 115,000 feet right there. So about 23 miles, which isn't really that high when you think about it. All right, so that's what it looks like.
Not that high.
Yeah, there he goes. So he falls out. He doesn't fall out. He purposely like, you know, lets go. He just falls forward. There you go. That's him. Well, who knows? You know, some people say, yeah, that was fake too. Really don't know. I don't think it was. That's a pretty neat shot.
So if you don't think it was, you think it was a curve haunted?
I'm sorry, say it again. Do I think it was what?
Do you think that picture proves the curvature of the Earth?
Do I think it proves the curvature? It looked pretty flat to me.
Yes.
I think it proves lack of.
I'm just asking. I thought you seen this documentary, maybe a few more, and you said like, yeah, it's curved.
Hello, new guest. How you doing?
Good.
It's not a new guest. It's Apollo.
Hey. Hey, what's up?
Hey.
Hey, so what do we know?
Very nice. Very nice. Pod Pack 1.
This guy did this test, and this was the guy who ran the Manhigh program, and he was also a doctor.
Hold on. 1 second. Look at this equipment right here Apollo has going on. Awesome.
Old school. Look at that. 486s with 3¼ and 5¼ inch floppy drives. What is all that crap doing there?
This is a IBM 8286 with a 20 megabyte hard drive.
20 meg. Check out that keyboard.
Wow.
Those keyboards go for about $390, you know. And no, it's not one. Oh, I thought you had one of the. You do on the left. That keyboard on the left, that IBM original computer keyboard, they go for about $350.
Wow,
I've
just
thrown
the
out so
keyboard?
many of those things.
Yeah, just for the keyboard. People, for some reason,
I've
want those really
disposed of
old
so
IBM
many of those.
keyboards.
And this is a
Unbelievable.
IBM CGA screen, and it can, I think, only display 4 colors at the same time.
RGB.
So
I'm
incredible.
looking on eBay right now. Does it have to be IBM?
Yes.
'Cause I'm seeing 120, not $100.
Yeah, that keyboard on the left. You just had it in shot a second ago. That one.
Vintage IBM
The old
model.
5-pin DIN connection.
Yes.
$100,
I've
1988.
thrown out boxes and boxes of them. I should have kept them.
Of old IBM keyboards.
Oh, the whole lot. Machines, everything. This is going back a few years, though.
I've got to be honest, it's probably only the keyboard now that's actually
I was
worth
in the
anything.
computer-
The machines
I'm in the
aren't.
computer disposal business.
Oh, okay. So you just scrapped a lot.
Yeah.
No way.
That's impressive, Apollo. You got some good stuff going on there, man.
Yeah,
I
that's
do.
somebody who's
I do.
definitely addicted to computing. Love it. Very good stuff. I might round out the show on that note, unless there's anything anybody wants to add in particular. Was there anything pressing?
Just pressure.
Just
Pressure's
pressure
pressing.
on that vacuum.
What was that reel-to-reel, Apollo?
Yeah, I have 2 reel-to-reel audio machines.
Who makes them?
I got one Studer A77.
That's a Studer?
Yeah, I got a Studer A77 and an Akai.
And a Kai? Cool. I used to have a TIAC.
Can I just say, Nathan, that Simon Dan has 32,328 subscribers now.
Oh no! Don't let's not brush over that. I won't round out just yet. Do you want to? Let's do it properly because it hasn't featured on this show. So rather than just giving a quick summary, I know on the last show I'll summarise it while you bring it up. So on the last show, Ranty said that he was going to check on Simon Dan's subscribers at the end of the last show, maybe 10 minutes before, and then check it an hour later, which is about now-ish. So yeah, if Ranty can display his screen, hopefully we'll be able to check it out and he'll remember the numbers from the last feed.
Okay, just 1 second. Let me get it up. I know Anthony wrote it down. I know
That's a
Anthony
nice
had it.
guitar, Haunted.
I know Anthony had it written down.
Thanks, man.
32,052 at 10 to 3.
32,052 at 10 to 3. So
14.50.
1 hour and 10 minutes, 1 hour and 11 minutes later, I'll just refresh.
And I
Said it Gibson.
35, I said.
Oh, wait. And we shall see.
Over these.
Haunted, nice, man.
There we go. 32,331.
Oh, so he's only had 300 more. 300 in 1 hour.
Still
That's
not
subscribers in an hour. Wow. I said it.
I only have 850 in a year. He just put on 300 in an hour, and his videos are, in my opinion, shit.
Well, I said
must
this
be more
year
popular
off
than you.
air, Auntie, that he's outperforming ABC, Vice, and BBC combined with his views currently. It's absolutely insane. The guy's gone triple viral, and yet you search Flat Earth, which is in his title, and it doesn't appear. Amazing. He must be top in China or something.
Let's do that, actually. Let's check Flat Earth out and just see if he is.
If you look
being
there, he's got a
viral.
1 million view video. Right? Oh, I'm there, though. Check that out, Simon Dan.
Let's look for trending. Should we look for trending?
I mean, he's got a video that's gone up to 1 million views in the last week, so I would expect him to be trending and at the top of this list. And you know, maybe set your VPN to China, and then we'll see where he's top.
No, he's not.
He should be at the top of this list, man. With numbers like that, how is he not on this list? Where are people seeing his videos like that? That everybody's just amazed at his videos right now. Everybody's falling over themselves to be his subscriber. Come on,
hold me back. I need to subscribe 5 more times.
I highly advise if anybody wants to go to sleep. If you really need to go to sleep, go and watch one of his videos. They will do a fantastic job, better than any kind of medicine you can think of.
To be fair, though, what's really interesting about his name is it implies science in his name. And I have seen zero science from that guy. I've seen him sat in his little corner with his gay little haircut and his gay little globe. And all these pronounce the rhetoric of the Ball Earth model back to people who are producing evidence to the contrary. He's a moron.
Maybe it's because he's got a NASA shirt on in one of those videos.
Maybe it's his logo.
Oh yeah, man. That's just what I was thinking. Right. I mean,
sitting in the chair talking about the shape of the Earth sounds familiar.
Absolutely, it sounds familiar. But after 3 years of doing it and going on, I don't know, 20, 30, 40 different YouTube channels trying to promote my channel and trying to integrate myself with as many different people and as network as far and wide as I can, getting interviews like Vice Media, and this guy's obviously going to outgrow me 10 to 1 because he's doing debunking videos on no-name flat earthers. So of course that's going to outperform me if he puts a NASA shirt on. What else could you... I mean, if I'd have known earlier that I just had to put a NASA shirt on, I wouldn't have wasted my time going down to London and then doing that interview with Vice.
It's never too late, mate. Never too late.
Actually, and then for the extra bit, throw on a NASA hat.
NASA underpants.
I was going to say that. NASA jocks.
NASA G-string.
I mean, Jesus.
You can wear them on your head, mate. Wear them on your head.
So, Nathan, I have to confess, actually, I didn't buy this microphone for your show, but I'm going to be on the non-sequitur show on 24 August.
Yeah? What's the subject going to be?
Kick him off.
I'm going to talk about my NASA tapes, of course.
Cool. I'll tune in.
On the non sequitur show?
I would. It's actually, you're doing very much the right thing. I've said this to many other YouTubers. That is how you build your reputation. You go out to other people's shows, like I've done. I've gone to the non sequitur show. So
Nathan, you don't come out your safe hiding hole, apparently.
Oh yeah, whatever. Anyway, you go out and you spread your what's it? The I can't think of the word. Exposure. You know, you expose yourself, but that sounds terrible to say. But you basically have to give yourself more exposure. And going on the non sequitur show, if you've got these tapes, you've done all that work. That's precisely what I would do, and I will tune in. I'll watch. I found your information fascinating, and why wouldn't you want to spread that to more people?
Exactly.
I can't stand those guys. They're like fat atheists.
You do know that those guys they're like NASA lovers, right?
Oh, so I will fit in perfectly then.
All right, cool.
Is anybody, just before the end of the show, is anybody willing to drop so that Sean Hawkins can join? He wants to ask me something.
Yes, I am. I'm out.
So, there's now a gap on the panel. I'll give you 2 minutes. If you don't join, I'll round out the show without you. If you do join... Oh, it's Geo Deceiver. Hey, Geo.
Hey, Geo.
Couldn't cope with a one-on-one hangout, eh? You complete retard. Needed help from Soundly, did you, buffoon? What an embarrassment, Geo. I can't quite believe you can show your face round here. You are so thick that you cannot cope with talking to somebody one-on-one, and you need Soundly whittering in your ear on where to get references and what citations to go back to. You are one serious contender for dumb fuck of the year, my friend. In fact, I don't know how you can lose it. You're dumb.
Ask him the question straight blank. Just say, do you admit that you were being coached by Soundly? Yes or no?
I know he was. I don't need him to admit it.
Yeah,
I've got a tape recording of him doing it. So his denial just is laughable. Deny it all you like, Gio. We know you were being coached by Soundly. We've got a tape recording of you doing it. Denying it is great. Keep denying it, you lying sack of shit, because it just makes you look terrible. Good for you, buddy. Keep that denial up. Every time you do it, it just digs that hole that little bit deeper, because we can just play the recording of you having a conversation with Soundly that was on topic. So be a lying sack of crap all your life. I know and you know that you're thick, you needed help, you've been caught out, and you're a liar. We all know that. The audience knows that. So Geo Streber's a sack of garbage, lying sack of shit, presumably still lying in the chat, right? Still saying he hasn't done it, it wasn't me. The lawyer screwed me.
Love you, Geo Streber.
What's a GeoStreamer?
Go on, Geo.
It wasn't me. It was the one-armed man.
It wasn't me.
It wasn't me.
It wasn't me. It was Anthony playing the hangout in the background. That's what it was. Where's that hangout? So you've declared that it is a hangout without actually having the hangout to present to somebody. That's very disingenuous. Seems a bit premature to declare it is a hangout that you haven't got to show us. Especially when we've got a recording of you actually talking to the guy and him responding to you. Wow, Geo Streber is more stupid than I first thought to continue denying this. What a complete idiot. This is what they need, though. We've always known that this is what they're all like. They're all thick. They all need Soundly whittering in their ear. Geo, you're a retard. You'll be labelled a retard, Alex, from now until forever. Because you are a retard.
He must get some street cred.
He Mars?
Yeah, he's asking GeoStreamer, why do you need Soundly to help you?
Yeah, why do you need Soundly to help you, Geo? Is it because you're stupid and you can't cope on your own? You need help. Help because you're a retard. Help because you're stupid. Help because when you're stuttering on air, you best have Sean in your ear so you don't look more stupid than you actually are.
Soundly.
Who? Who did I say?
Sean.
Oh, yeah. Who cares? He needs somebody in his ear because he's thick.
They're all stupid.
Where is it? Where is it? Yeah, it's just down there, mate. No worries. I'm here to help you, Geo. It's okay, I'm here to help you, Geo. Just look down the page a bit.
The best thing about it is Sean actually puts that down to it being a coincidence, a fluke. It just happens to be my hangout being played in the background.
If you ever need my help, Geo, I'm here too, mate. I'm here to help you, Geo. I'll whisper in your ear. I'm here for you, Geo. It's okay. We'll get this. We'll get through it together. I'll give you the info. Don't worry. We've got this, mate. We've got this, brother.
We are quite on a roll there, Nathan. Do you have some problem with GeoStreber?
With who?
Have you not been keeping up to date, sir? Do you not?
Yeah. Let me tell him, please. Let me tell him. So GeoStreber arranged for a one-on-one discussion with Anthony, and they had the one-on-one discussion. And after the fact, I even asked him, was it one-on-one? And he said, yeah. The problem being that he inadvertently let the sound of the guy coaching him get onto the recording, albeit very quiet. But what do you know? Modern technology, we just amplified the volume. Or Anthony, not really. Anthony, up the volume, and then we heard what was in the gaps. And it was somebody telling him what to do. It was Soundly in his ear. Because I'm too sick to do it, I need somebody in his ear. Can you help me, Soundly? I can't do this on my own. I'll whisper in your ear, mate. No worries. We've got this, brother. We've got this, thicko. I mean, GeoStreber. You're a retard, mate. This is the biggest embarrassment ever. And the cover-up that followed it is even worse because it drags Soundly into it. It drags Sean into it. You're all conspiring together to cover Geo stupidity. This is very embarrassing. And now, on top of that, we've got Simon Dan lying about his subscribers. Are any of the ballers honest?
No. And we've got Nathan We've got George Natanuke pretending that Bill Miller in some way was not the Brian Mullen that he was referencing on all of his threads.
Oh, yeah, Bill Miller, that lie that was made up by George. Oh, yeah, we won't live that lie down very quickly either, will we, George? Yeah, you lying sack of shit. Just like Geo Strieber, just like Sean Hufford, just like Soundly, just like Simon Dan. You're a bunch of liars. Every last one of you. Apparently, Red's Rhetoric wants to debate me. But even though Red's Rhetoric wants to debate me, he's also a liar. He's flown away. I've had confirmation from the beaters in the chat hangout, in the feed, that he's flown away. He's got a list of bitch excuses. He's scared of my muting people. He's scared of me shouting at him. He's scared of the territory. He's just basically scared shitless. And even though he's called me out, because he can't get his bitch demands, he's essentially fucked off. That's what he's done.
Be very, very quiet. We're hunting ballers.
Yeah. It's like going up to the king and going, "Oi, I can't attack you in your castle. Come down here into the mud."
Yeah.
Yeah, no worries, Red.
Here's the king.
And let's not forget Rumpus, who claimed
Here's
that he
the
went
king.
to space.
Sorry, is someone trying to present something or something?
No, let's not forget Rumpus, who claimed that he'd actually been to space.
Wow, look at the graphics.
Paulo, how old is that Spider-Man game?
That's got to be 83, 84, right?
Wow.
What is
The
Rumpus
amazing
supposed to be?
Spider-Man.
I mean, I understand what a Rumpus rune is, but that's some
Who
old
knows?
terminology.
Rumpus is a
Well,
moron.
I like to know behind the story behind the
Is Geo Strieber gone? Is he not in the chat anymore? Was he not having fun? Where's he gone? Geo, come back. We want to take the piss out of how stupid you are. Where's he gone? Come on, come back, Geo. Yeah? We're not done humiliating you. Right, George. Is George in the chat? What about Sean? Sean makes an appearance. Soundly, he's been on the show. He's got bigger balls than Red's Rhetoric. Even Brenda's got bigger balls than Red's Rhetoric. She's got no issue coming on here. Rumpus has got no issue.
It's true, Nathan. I do have bigger balls because Red's Rhetoric wouldn't want me to tell you, but we hang out. Lots of swingers down in Florida.
So.
Alrighty then.
Oh, Geo Strieber's back at P Mars. We
Yay.
actually showed. Let's just pause this. Oh God, how do you stop this thing from moving? We actually showed that the audio came from Riley's side. Oh wow! You showed that, did you? Right, Geo Strieber. Post the link. As soon as this show finishes, everybody go and check Geo Strieber's comment because he's going to post a link to where the audio came from, aren't you, Geo? I'd like to see yes from Geo Strieber in the chat. Geo will post after this stream in the comments a link to the original chat. Won't you, Geo?
I think he already did.
Well,
Oh,
let's,
really?
let's also consider, right? Let's just say, let's give him his argument some weight and say that there's two possibilities. It either came from my microphone or it came from Geo's. If it came from my microphone, it must be a coincidence that there just so happens to be what appears to be a coherent back and forth between him and Soundly, and that's by total fluke and chance. Or is it coming from Geo's mic, the way it sounds? Nathan, do we need to play it again just for Geo so we can all laugh at Geo?
I think it's probably well worth listening to this contemporaneous conversation on topic between Geo and Soundly.
Yeah,
I'll have to drop from the hangout and rejoin on Skype though, yeah?
Yeah, no worries.
All right.
I mean, Gio, you could just say, damn, I needed some help.
Yeah, just
be
admit
a
it.
man.
You're a Dumbo.
It's all right. Man. We give you more respect for that, but the fact that you lied about it, I don't know. And you got caught out there, man. It's just how simple it is. You got caught out there.
It's a good day. I mean, you got
Right,
Simon
right.
Dan buying
Right.
million views on one video. Right, you ready, Anthony?
Yeah, do you want to present?
Yeah,
Should be
just-
getting sound. You interrupt me
Yeah.
immediately if you don't get the sound. Right, so we've basically got this is the actual bit that's this bit here. It's only a few seconds, but when I went back to the hangout and I heard this, I thought this was suspicious, so I went to put it in and see what I could get out of it. And basically, if the position is as asserted by GeoStreamer that this sound is coming from my microphone, then the chances of it, what that means is that this must be a coincidence that there is what sounds like a coherent conversation back and forth from Geo to Soundly. This must be total fluke and coincidence. Or the alternative is it's Geo having a one-to-one coherent conversation with Soundly in the background. Don't be put off by the change in the sound in the background. That's because it's obviously being picked up via his headphones. So you have to listen to the words being said, but you can clearly hear that Geo says, wait, is it down here, right? And he asks right, and then because he asks the question, he gets the response, yeah, and go back to that definition he cites. So listen for him asking the question for where it is, and then listen for the response saying, yeah. And are you telling me that this is a coincidence, or are you telling me that this is a coherent conversation? And Geo's cheating.
Wait, let me check it. Where was it? Further down, right?
Yeah, go back to that definition he cites to show you can make.
Small angle formula.
So he says, right, further down here, right? And he goes, yeah, go back to that definition he cites too. So is this a coherent conversation between him and Soundly, or is it actually the way he asserts, which is I'm the one that's having some hangout being played in the background, and it just so happens to sound like a coherent conversation by total coincidence?
Wait, let me check it. Where was it? Further
he's
down.
downplaying it. Geo's in the chat saying, Yeshua dude, do you think YouTube stuff I do is my career? It isn't. It's just my hobby. So he's downplaying it. So it's not that important to Geo that we've absolutely and conclusively shown him to be A, lying sack of shit, and B, a complete fraud. That's cool by him.
So let's play it again. So he asks the question down here, right? And then the response is, yeah, and go back to the definition he cites too. So basically, this is total coincidence, or it is the way it appears.
Where was it? Further down, right?
Yeah, go back to that definition he cites too.
Where was it? Further down, right?
Yeah, go back to that definition.
Where was it? Further down, right?
Yeah, go back.
So where was it? Further down, right? Yeah, go back to that definition he cites too. So basically, if you believe that this is a total coincidental interrelation between a hangout that I was listening to that just so happens to mesh perfectly with GeoStreamer, then yeah, I'm guilty. Alternatively, it's Geo having a conversation with Soundly and he won't admit it. And now he's doubling down on it.
Yeah, which is great because it just shows what a massive liar he really is. In the face of overwhelming evidence, with a tape recording of him having a contemporaneous conversation with Soundly during a hangout, in a gap that up until now was just dead air, only through audio enhancement did we hear that there was someone else in the conversation during a gap, which happened to be Soundly, with a coherent response to his question and further direction. That is actually Anthony playing Soundly whilst talking to Geo, leaving a gap long enough for him to say something that sounded like a response, and that's conceded by Soundly himself, who said in an embedded confession, yeah, it does sound like I'm giving him a response.
Yeah. And also bear in mind what I say here. When I do start speaking again, I say that I'm screen sharing and I'm waiting for him to present my screen. So if I was having something being played in the background, wouldn't you think it'd be on the screen? I'm waiting for him to share. So listen to this. Yeah, it was the second page. So you want to go back to
All
the
right,
first
yeah, the small angle formula is approximation. If you don't want your calculations to be as complicated, you can use the small angle formula to make it easier. But for larger angles, it doesn't apply because the error is simply too high.
I'm just trying to find which page it was that I went to. Yeah, this is the one. So what is it you're looking for?
So my original question was, do you actually know?
Maybe it doesn't. Maybe it's further down. But I mean, listen, when you're having a one-to-one with somebody, right? You're doting on every word that drips out of that person's mouth because you want to hear exactly what's being said. You ain't you're just not listening for another hangout in the background. It's ridiculous. They're all a bunch of liars.
I think that's probably the right point to round out. Unless, should I take a vote on what the audience actually thinks about this?
No,
that's some good detective work, brother.
It's more interesting.
Say again, was?
I think we should watch Apollo's screen. It's more interesting.
He's got asteroids on, hasn't he? I think I just saw it.
No, he's got the old Windows screensaver.
Awesome.
I think it was Windows 95, was it, Apollo?
Windows...
was it Windows 95?
No, the one before, 3.11.
Oh, 3.11.
3.11.
Very nice.
Unreal, man. This is so
That's
retro.
a blast from the past.
Cool, very cool. I would like to take a quick vote. So, if you believe Gio's version of events, which is to say that it's a coincidence and Anthony happens to be playing Sean on a hangout which hasn't been presented in the background during a gap that was left, and it coincidentally sounded like Soundly was responding to Gio's question that he specifically asked about where something was, and then just coincidentally gave a direction? Or do you believe that he was just having a contemporaneous conversation about the topic in hand because he was being fed by Soundly? So number one, if you believe Gio Streber's account, that he was just victim of coincidence in this regard, or if you believe he's just a lying sack of shit and was actually being fed by Soundly exactly as it depicts on the tape recording, then put number 2.
So let's look at all the stupid people. We've got 83 Ricky Spanish that says number 1. You're not able to calculate evidence properly.
We're not calculating
Sam
it, we're
Scott,
listening to it.
Loser.
Why are you voting twice? Don't vote
Me?
twice. You know who you are.
Oops.
So still close, I think.
Don't vote 3 times. Mong Patrol is just a dick. So, sorry, just the 4th time he's voted. Why Mong Patrol?
He's a Mong.
Look at Zell. Zell can't do
Shout out
as
to
well.
Mong Patrol, you Mong.
Yeah. Spam the chat with ones and it'll seem like he's got more votes. Okie dokie, Globeheads. Just another sign of your dishonesty. Hello, do you not get the irony?
Oh, and Sam Scott, check out my video called That £1,000. You'll realise that Mark owes me the money. I won the bet. It was the way I said it, not the way he said it. Keep going over and over and over this. Just check out the video on it. That £1,000 or that grand on my channel.
And with that, I'm going to say first and foremost, a huge, massive, enormous thank you to all of the debating panel for making this debate possible. And of course, a massive thank you to all of the live audience for tuning in and hopefully sharing this debate. If you hated the show, you know exactly what to do. But if you like the show, maybe consider sharing it with a friend or subscribing if you have not done so already. I've been Nathan Oakley and I'll see you all in the next video.
Oh, what a day! What a lovely day!